hadn't shit yet this morning.
That's a crazy
you need
thing.
Magnesium citrate.
No, I've taken my magnesium. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to shit. I just don't have
This
time.
relates to one of my bullshit topics.
Oh, thank God.
Hi, welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I'm Amanda. And we have a very wonderful guest with us today, Arasha.
I'm Arasha.
Different adjective that time.
What did I say?
You said wonderful. Usually you say special.
I know.
Oh.
This time you're wonderful.
It
Damn.
wasn't on purpose, Arasha.
I want to be special.
I felt like calm and soothed, so I said wonderful.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Take it.
Both of your hairs look wonderful.
Oh,
Your single
thank you.
hairs.
Thank you.
My hair is out of control. There's nothing I can do.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My hair.
My hair.
It's one of those days when I sleep on it wet, I wake up and it looks like this, and I'm very grateful.
I hate sleeping on it wet.
I love it.
What?
My
Aren't you
pillow's
cold
freezing.
and wet?
Yeah, cold and wet. Shiver to bed. I shiver all night.
And that's why you're having nightmares.
It's awesome.
You were just saying before we started that you were obsessed with dreams in 7th grade.
Okay, yes. So
Just seventh
Just
grade.
7th grade.
Just 7th grade. I actually know what the source is too. I saw a post on Facebook and it was like, it informed me about lucid dreams.
Yeah, where you can control your dreams.
Where you
and
like,
everything.
yeah, you
That's a
become
real
like
thing.
conscious. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, and I was like,
And you
I
did.
need to do that. I need
Oh,
to
of
train.
course. You're like, I'm going to conquer this.
I became obsessed with it. So I remember my brother was in high school and he was taking psychology and I literally read his textbook
On lucid dreaming.
on lucid dreaming. I went to the bookstore and I got a bunch of books on dreams and I just read and I trained myself in order to be able to lucid dream.
I might not surprised by this.
Did you do it?
So I actually gave myself like sleep paralysis.
What?
Yeah. No, it's not.
so
it's
scared
not
of that.
good.
You went too far.
I went way too far. It's like it's actually completely messed me up because it's like I have just a crazy amount of knowledge on dreams now, and now I remember my dreams almost every night because that's a part of the like training.
Yeah.
Is you
Yeah.
have to be.
Do you have to have a
recording
little
them.
thing with you to remind you, like in Inception, to remind you that you're lucid dreaming?
A reality check.
What's your reality check?
Yeah.
Okay, so a few things that you had to like study or like do is you can do a few different things, right? Like in your dreams, the time is never going to be correct. You're never going to be able to count like your 10 fingers, things like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So in what you're supposed to kind of do is practice in daily life performing these reality checks. So just constantly like looking at your hands and being like, okay, I can count
So the
to
way
10.
you do it is that you have to be an absolute psycho in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, then the goal is that once you're dreaming, hopefully in your dreams, you will perform a reality check and be like, I can't count to 10
I'm
fingers.
dreaming.
I'm dreaming. And you'll wake up inside of your dreams.
But you don't. Oh, you just mean wake up inside your dream, as in you'll become conscious in your dream, and then you can start playing around and doing
Yeah.
wild stuff.
Much easier said than done, I think, because then it's really hard
Yeah.
to control it. Because then you also get very excited, right? You're like
Yeah.
now in dream world, and you're like, holy shit! And you get so excited that sometimes like then you steer off, and then you forget you're dreaming again, and then it becomes something else. So it started happening a few times for me, which was great. But now when I'm not trying to lucid dream, I will wake up in my dreams, and sometimes I will wake up too early, and that's when the sleep paralysis happens. So my body is just like stuck, and I can't wake up, and it's really bad.
So you're awake in your dream, but your body won't like shake you awake?
Yeah, like it's been a few times where like I will feel just like I'm still awake and I'm still in the room, but I'm like separated from my body and I can't like move. It's really,
don't
really
like
bad.
that.
No,
That sounds
and they
awful.
warned me too. People were like, don't learn to lucid dream.
You're
You will
going
mess
too
it
far.
up. Yeah.
Also,
Stop
I feel
now.
like you can lucid dream without going that intense. Like you can realize that you're lucid dreaming.
Maybe.
Sometimes I wake up in my dreams and I'm like, oh, this is a dream. But then I don't try to like
Control
battle it.
What? You don't want to like fly or like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Exactly.
I don't with the reality of dreaming. I don't mess with it. I go, thank you so much for letting me dream. I know not to mess with dreams.
You've told me about some of your nightmares, so
Yeah.
I get why you don't want to tamper
I
with it.
don't want to mess with it. So
You're
I
just
just
like,
go,
I'm gonna leave it be.
I'm dreaming and I can wake up now.
but you can do whatever you want in Dream World.
No, you're going to use and abuse the dream world.
It's too late. I'm used and abused.
Oh, no. So wait, have you recently been paralyzed by sleep?
Yeah, I would say maybe it happens like once every 2 months or so.
Oh, wow.
That's awful.
It's bad.
I only have one instance in my entire life that I recall, and it wasn't like horrible. I just remember being in a dream, and I think I clocked that it was a dream, but I remember trying to wake up in my dream.
Yeah.
And I was in my grandparents' old house, and I remember in my memory it's like this, where I'm like in their like basement, and it starts to like rip apart as I'm trying to open my eyes. So literally like their house is like ripping apart horizontally as I'm opening my eyes, and then I was just in my bedroom.
Gosh.
But I like couldn't move. I remember like struggling to move, but I wasn't in like there's a paralysis demon or anything. I just remember being like, I'm trying to wake up, and just being a little confused where I was.
Totally.
But I haven't had like horrible situations, but I rarely remember dreams. But I know it's a practice, and I just don't really care.
Yeah, like you're supposed to keep like a dream journal next to you. So like every day you wake up, you just like jot down what you do remember, and then eventually you just start remembering them. I have a funny story when I was driving back home with a friend for Thanksgiving to San Antonio, which was like an 18-hour drive, right? And I remember I was asleep in the back seat, and my roommates at the time were driving, and I had fallen asleep, but I was now in this sleep paralysis state where I like couldn't wake up, and I definitely was there, but I just couldn't like move, but I could hear everything that was happening in the car. And they both were like joking around about like driving really fast on the highway to like really speed home.
Let's drive really fast.
They were like,
this thing.
they were like, let's just gun it. Let's just go all the way. And I obviously was in this weird dream state, so I was like scared that they would, and I couldn't say anything, and I struggled to like say something to like alert them to wake me up, and I ended up just like spewing out, slow down.
And you guys are stopped at a gas station.
Yeah, and both of them, literally, they still like joke about it with me every time. They're like, slow down. And it was me being like, wake me up. Help me, slow down.
That's brutal.
I know.
So stressful, Arasha.
I
God.
think the reason I don't deal with this shit is it's one of the things I'm most grateful for is that I fall asleep so fast. And the second I wake up, I'm just up and I get out of bed. So I hate
you.
It's like in a video game when it's like, all right, I'm gonna quickly like just time jump here. I lay in bed, I'm just like, and I wake up and I'm like, out, and I go, and I want coffee.
Wow.
It's insane.
And I want coffee.
Dude.
And I truly, there's just no time. I'm up and I'm like, out. Let's go.
I'm so jealous of that. My husband's exactly the same way.
I'm so grateful for it.
He'll be like on his phone. He'll be like, oh my God, look at this thing. And then I'm like, yeah. And I look over and he's like, I'm not
with
kidding.
his phone still in his hand.
The amount of times he is asleep next to me with his phone fully propped up, and it's playing the same reel over and over. And I'm like, can you shut that goddamn reel off?
But
And
he's
like,
just out.
It's always the reels. Why are these men on reels?
I don't know.
Get on TikTok. Grow
I'm not.
up.
No.
I just can lay down and I can just be like, all right, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm so envious.
I'm quick to fall asleep as well, I think. But,
no,
but
I
waking up, I love
But
snooze.
that's why I don't remember dreams, because as soon as I wake up, I love coffee so much that the second I wake up, I'm so excited to go get some coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Like, holy shit, I get to go have coffee right now. And I'm jazzed every
Wow.
morning.
Wow.
Find you somebody that loves you like Shayne loves coffee.
I love it so
Wow.
much.
Wow.
So I'm
Wow.
up and out. I'm
Yeah.
not thinking about dreams. If I remember a dream, I'm like, screw that shit. I got coffee.
Whoa.
See, I'm snoozing so often, and I'm capable of like, I wake up and I hit the snooze button, and I am able to just close my eyes and go right back into that
Same.
dream. Like literally continue the same dream.
When I do remember dreams is when I wake up early, like too early, like 4, 3. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Fall right back asleep.
Yeah.
And then I usually have dreams. And I think dreams are when you're close to waking up. That is
3 is the
dream.
witching hour. So if you wake up at 3,
then I'm a witch.
Something's
Yeah.
No, not you. You're not a witch. Oh my God, I would love to see Shayne as a witch. That would
Shayne
be
could be a
hilarious.
witch.
I'd be a great witch.
He'd be like, come on in. I don't care if you do. I don't care if you don't.
I no longer feel scared when I wake up in the middle of the night because I have 2 cats, so I hear shit all night, every night.
That's true.
Last night, they were doing some crazy shit. I don't know what they were doing. So many noises.
Each other.
So many.
No. Hey, they're siblings.
They're siblings, bro.
So they're cats.
But there were so many noises happening. And normally, if I lived alone, I'd be terrified. But I wake up and I'm just like, what are my cats doing? Like, I cannot believe it. And then you wake up and you don't find anything. I'm like, what's amiss? Nothing. What were you doing? And
I don't think I could have cats.
I'm not scared when I wake up at 3 a.m. because I'm like, they're doing their shit.
I don't think I could do that because I would be in bed being like, they're coming for me. Like, I am getting taken and they are coming for me.
Yeah, your cats are talking to each other, being like, do we take them down?
Probably, actually.
And I think they could.
That's legitimately what they're likely talking about.
This episode is brought to you by ZocDoc. Shayne, I really need a doctor and a good one. Do you have any recommendations?
I do have recommendations, and I have recommendations thanks to ZocDoc, because using ZocDoc, I was able to find a great doctor. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. Now, I delayed getting a doctor's appointment for so long because I hate the complications of finding a doctor and like managing which ones are under your insurance, all these things. It's so complicated. ZocDoc streamlined it. I was able to just look on there. I was able to type in everything that I needed, and it just filters all that out. You're able to just see all the doctors in your area. You can see their availabilities. And yeah, instantly book an appointment just through that. It's amazing. It can happen fast, too. It's awesome.
I love fast and I love easy, so I will definitely use ZocDoc when I'm looking for a doctor. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Smoshmouth to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Smoshmouth. ZocDoc.com/Smoshmouth.
Back to the show.
Let's go.
Before we started rolling, and to be clear, we have some big stuff we want to talk about because you have a show
Yes.
Yeah.
that you've been working on for the better part of 2 years.
Yeah, a little bit.
But before we get
You okay?
A little bit.
but before we get to that, right before we started rolling, and I think we have the footage, you turned to Amanda and said something right before we started rolling.
Before we started rolling?
Yeah.
Or maybe right after we started rolling.
Yeah, I think we have it. I think we
have the footage.
I said
Yeah.
I haven't shit yet today.
That's a bummer.
And it's like 9 a.m.
And then you also brought up that there is someone that keeps DMing you on Instagram being like, stop talking about shit.
Yeah. And he's angry about it. he's really, really upset.
Why is he
he's
so
probably
upset?
watching this and preparing like
And
the
he's
next
just like,
DM.
"Ah!"
He's like,
Yeah.
fuck
There
her.
she is again. I'm going to give her
Stop
one more
it.
chance. Do you think he keeps watching to give you more chances so you don't talk about it?
I mean, he was like, dude, I was a fan of you and the channel, but like you keep talking about poop. And
I was
like,
a fan.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
You're your own person.
Don't make it
Right.
such,
You're
don't make it
living
such
your
a big
life.
thing. You're just a
Right.
person who enjoys waking up and pooping.
And I love talking about poop with my friends.
I
man.
know this.
I love sending
allowed.
people photos of what I drop in the
Yeah,
toilet.
that's
I'm so
another,
glad you haven't sent me that.
That's
and
on another
you don't
level,
need
but-
to.
Tommy has an album.
really. Tommy's got the subscription.
And you know what? He sometimes
Don't say that.
sometimes
No, I was
Tommy's got the subscription.
No, Tommy's on the newsletter.
and you know what? I think other people would want to as well. I'm not saying that I would open that. I'm just saying like one day I feel like people would be like, yeah, I'd sign up for that.
I care about you and respect you. I will not subscribe to
No, I'm
this
not.
subscription.
Well, you don't have to. I'll send it to you for free because
No,
you're a friend.
thank you. No,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You get the friendly description.
Related to that, I wanted to bring up. I for some reason TikTok has decided that I'm on chia seed TikTok now. It's just like, hey man, you need to TikTok. All of a sudden, one day, sent me a million TikToks being like, you need to soak your chia seeds. And I was like, me who hasn't bought chia seeds in my adult life, I'm like, why?
Dude, chia seeds are
why-
good.
I don't mind. I've had chia seeds in things, but I haven't bought chia seeds. And I'm like, why do I need to soak them all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Like
Do you remember-
every other week, TikTok is like, here's this thing that you're not doing, you need to do. And I'm like, nobody's ever brought this up before.
Dude.
But
You have to do it.
I did some more research, and it was like, you don't, like, desperately. If you're going to eat a ton of chia seeds, don't eat a ton of dry chia seeds because they soak up water.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a chia pet.
So if you
remember chia pets?
Oh, because those are chia seeds.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Guys, chia pets, I looked them up.
I'm going to be real honest. I did not make that connection
Me
until
neither.
right now that it's chia seeds in a chia pet. I thought chia was the brand. Like, that was the brand of the
my
company.
eye is literally twitching
Like, I thought it was
thinking
like,
about
buy
this.
chia.
I hope I'm right about
no,
that.
it's chia seeds. I watched those commercials over and over again as a kid.
Okay, let me
and
tell
I never
you.
clocked that it was...
I looked it up. They're still selling chia pets. There's an Ice Spice chia pet. You know who Ice Spice is?
Of course.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. She's got a chia pet.
We should make a
That's
Smosh
crazy.
chia pet. We should partner with them.
Whoa.
My mind is being blown right now.
It makes sense because, like, I buy those little trays where you grow sprouts in them. And I'm like, that's all a chia pet ever was.
So if you wanted to make a chia pet, I think TikTok is trying to push you in a direction that's fun.
Wow.
Anyways, yesterday I poured a glass of water and put some chia seeds in it and stirred it up and drank chia seeds.
Dude, you
Supposed to be really
submitted.
good.
I submitted. Well, I was like, what's the harm?
There is
Shit.
no
That's
harm.
what TikTok
What's the
wants you
harm?
to think.
I was like, sometimes TikTok is sharing shit where I'm like, this is wrong and this is bad.
Yeah.
Shut up. This, I was like, who cares?
Damn.
Who cares if I put chia seeds in some water and drink it?
Maybe we do have to stick to reels.
I'm telling you,
fine.
my algorithm is so effed. Every algorithm is a baby birth. I'm not kidding. Every algorithm is like women going through birth.
Oh my God.
You look up one thing. I still try to look up funny videos, and it always switches to a birth.
Those are funny.
But they can't show it on TikTok. So
They
can't.
get pretty close.
Do they?
Maybe like cartoon versions of it?
No, not cartoon.
Bugs Bunny giving birth.
And here's the thing. I support oh God. I support women sharing their experiences. I support it. But sometimes I need to turn off.
Yeah.
And not think about that a birth is coming my way.
That's what
Yeah.
sucks about an
Yeah.
algorithm is you don't get to you don't know what's coming.
I know. Like, I miss people falling. I don't want to look at
Oh, yeah.
Silly stuff. You want silly
I want
things.
silly stuff, not like, are you sure you have this in your nursery?
My feeds have not been silly. They've not been as silly as I've
They're
wanted.
not silly.
Like, there's too many. I think we're getting really close to we're out of takes. I get so many takes on social media every day, all day, and I'm like, guys, let's cool it on the
Hot
takes.
take.
Whoa.
Because there's so many that I think we're now just making shit up.
Yeah,
what-
definitely.
To have a new take
To stand out.
And I'm like, there's important takes. I get that, but we
Minus
don't need
the
we don't
chia
need a
seeds.
different. That I needed. That I desperately needed.
And they're all the Chia Pet Company just getting to you, man.
I cannot believe. But also, to be fair, when I was getting Chia Pet commercials, I'd never heard of chia seeds as a kid.
No, I didn't know that either. I
didn't know-
recently
I didn't
learned
know
that
anything.
it's chia seeds.
And they're good. They're like fibrous.
Yeah,
So you can shit.
so the idea is that you soak them in water and you drink them, and then it's just like they go through your body, and it's like, hey, everything's going with us.
Yeah.
Like we're pushing through.
Honestly, yeah. Well, that's why we talked about magnesium
So
the
I don't
other
need
day.
to take magnesium citrate every
No,
night.
no, do that too. That's the night before,
This is
and then
just
you'll
another
wake up
option.
with a block in your asshole.
But what?
See, you went too far.
No, and
as
it's,
you do.
Just to be clear, the block is there for me right now. I just don't have time. Like, I'm not going to slow down production to go take a shit.
We're gonna see such a drop in
You are.
viewership right here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be a drop, all right.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Anyways,
right.
let's.
Arasha, you have a big show.
Arasha's going to be performing live in Los Angeles, baby. But wait, literally, you're going to be performing live in Los
Yes.
Angeles.
And it will be
May-
live streamed as well. So
will be live
This will be an
streamed
May
online
30th.
show as well.
So it's May 30th. It's at Dynasty Typewriter. It's
Yeah.
going to be live and live streamed. And let me just say, Dynasty Typewriter kills it with their live stream.
Absolutely.
It's going to look
Truly.
so good.
I'm really excited. Yeah, I mean, and the cool part of it too is, this show, it's going to be so different than anything I've really ever done because it crosses so many different genres. and so many different formats. So the live stream aspect of it is so interesting because we have some video content in the show.
Oh,
so if you
cool.
are watching at home, it's just going to plug straight into your screen.
Perfect.
So it almost will play like a little bit of a comedy special or like
Love that.
like kind of like another digital like SNL like episode that you're watching.
Cool.
So in a way, it's like it's cool to be in the theater, obviously, and you'll have the screen, you'll still get to see that. But the cool aspect of it, obviously, is like at home, everything that's happening is going to be right there on your screen.
Interstitials, you'll have video, you'll have you guys performing live. What's the title of it?
It's called How I Met Your Masi,
Which is Aunt.
Correct. Did you do your research?
I did my research.
We talked about it.
We talked about it.
What is this?
Yeah.
How I Met Your Aunt.
Kind of, yeah. So without giving away too much, Masi, like, loosely is aunt.
Yeah, mother, sister.
It's, yeah, kind of. It's like, there's a lot of names inside of, like, relationships to, like, not just your elders, but your siblings and everything. And I'm pretty sure that's not just Indian culture, but specifically inside of Indians, there is, like, a specific name for each person rather than just, like, aunt and uncle. It is like...
So it's like mother's sister and dad's sister are two different vibes.
Oh, so what's
Exactly.
dad's sister?
Hobby? I think.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
actually like that there's a distinction because
Me too.
sometimes that's annoying when in English talking to someone, you're like, oh, yeah, my aunt. It's like, so is that your aunt on your mom or dad's side? And it's like,
Yeah.
And then some people don't make the distinction of like your grandmother's sister. So like in my family, it's like my grandma's sister is just aunt
Sure,
as well.
sure.
Like we don't make
Yeah.
that distinction. So it's just like
That's
there's a
annoying.
ton of aunts and uncles all over the place.
Yeah, I think actually I'm wrong. I think Bobby is your brother's wife.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's like different for like maternal and paternal as well for like grandparents. Like my grandparents on my mom's side is like Nani and Nana, and then on my dad's side is Dadi and Dada. But then like that also has different variations, and also
Cool.
people just like switch it up
Yeah.
sometimes. So it's like it honestly it doesn't have to be as strict, but a lot of it comes from respect.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
is just like a form of like I don't call my older brother by his first name. I call him Bhaiya, which technically means little brother, but he's older than me, and usually you have to call them like Bhaijan or Bhai, which is like bro.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was pretty embarrassed of it when we were growing up together and we were in school. So I actually, when we were both in, I think he was 8th grade and I was 6th grade, and so we were actually in the same school. We were old enough to like care about what people think.
Yep.
And I didn't want to call him Bhaiya because I was like, that sounds awful. So I called him Dude.
Hey, dude.
And,
What's up, dude?
And that was truly like his name, like that I called him all the time. Like if
Dude.
friends were over at the house, I'd be like, dude. Incredibly
That's
embarrassing.
really funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Why did you
hilarious.
feel? I mean, I understand people just suck, especially in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there a specific reason you didn't want to call him by that?
I feel like I was very embarrassed about it. I was kind of like hiding from that aspect of it. I mean,
Interesting.
it obviously
Because this was in Texas.
in Texas, yeah. And I grew up like, in a school where I was probably one of like a handful of maybe not minorities, but definitely Indian people
Sure.
at my school. And obviously the cat was out of the bag when you like saw my skin. So it wasn't really
Cat's out of the
something I
bag.
could
At the
hide.
end of you have a friend for 4 years in high school, and at the very end, they're like, I have a question to ask you.
Are
Yeah.
you Indian?
Right. I mean, honestly, a lot of kids were really dumb. Actually, growing up, I've heard a lot of people were like, "Oh, I thought you were Hispanic."
I actually am not. I'm not surprised by that
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So close to Mexico? Is that what they thought?
I mean, I guess there was like a much larger population in our school, so I guess they kind of had like grouped me in with that. But
I think people think that.
I'm like, have you never seen an Indian person? I guess probably not. Honestly,
Probably not. I
Yeah.
mean, people always think that I'm Armenian or Middle Eastern
Oh.
constantly,
Yeah,
all the time.
I can see this.
Even when even like growing up, they're always like, "What are you?"
what are you?
And I'm like, Portuguese. I guess people don't see a lot of Portuguese people.
Yeah. So
But it's different.
Depending on where you grow up, because like in Arizona, where I grew up, it was like it's just white people. Like it's just, especially our school, it was just like white people. And then like
totally.
I moved to LA, started coming here when I was like 14, and in like 1 week, I saw more diversity than I had seen in my entire life.
For sure,
growing up
for
in
sure.
Arizona.
Well, it's interesting because there were a lot of Indians and more specifically, I think I've said this before too. Like I belong to a very specific sect of Muslim inside of Islam, and it's called Ismailis.
You've said this before.
Yeah. And it's, there are pockets everywhere, but relatively it is obviously very specific and small. So it's kind of like you don't really know until you're like in on it kind of thing.
Interesting.
But it has always served as this like immediate connection between people of like, if you do uncover that somebody is a Smiley, you're suddenly like, oh my God, you're my soulmate.
Are there a lot in Texas?
There was a lot in San Antonio. Yeah, there's a huge population. And so I was surrounded by that. They were just separate from like school life, So it was really like this duality that I grew up with. But admittedly, I didn't have a lot of great experiences as well with Ismailis growing up. And so it equally felt like I was juggling this culture of like, do I want to try to fit in at school? Or am I supposed to find my place within my community?
Hence why you called your brother dude.
Exactly.
Because you're like, middle ground, dude.
Middle ground is dude. And when I went away to college too, it was much easier to escape from all of that as well. And I really started fresh and really moved away from my Indian identity. It really wasn't until I started working on this show that I've really begun embracing that part of my culture and talking about it. And a lot of it has to do with my comedy partner, Lily. She is half Indian. She has a white dad. And it's very interesting because our show kind of borrows from this theme as well of something that I think a lot of biracial people experience, and obviously that's not what I go through, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but what she has shared with me is that oftentimes you feel like not Indian enough or not, whatever your other half is, and everyone is kind of, attacking you for that, and so she has kind of dealt with it a lot by overcompensating and being like, I need to be extra Indian in order to show that I really do have this part of me in it, which has bled over a lot into me. Like, I have really learned a lot about it through her.
That's so cool.
And I've been introduced to so many South Asians in LA through her. I mean, there is a huge community of South Asian performers out here. And it's such a good feeling to be surrounded by them, which is why I really have felt so excited about this show, because my first year in LA did not include any of that, and being surrounded by that almost feels really like healing.
I'm sure.
It's really cool to be surrounded by the people that I once grew up with and really was desperate to be a part of, and now it feels like my love for acting and performing is really blending into my self-expression.
That's so cool.
Fantastic.
I think it makes total sense when you're growing up to push that away.
Yeah.
Because it almost feels like this is too traditional. This isn't cool. Nobody understands.
Yeah.
And so I think it's awesome that you're in LA, so diverse, and you get to now do your passion with those people.
Totally.
It's like very full circle for you.
Yeah. I mean, and a huge part of that too, right? Like, it's so nuanced because, I don't want to put myself in this pocket of also just doing, like, a lot of people have reached out to me and have talked to me about like, oh, is this like a South Asian show? Is this going to be like only for South Asians?
Right.
Sure,
and it's like, no, it's like, it's like Sinners, right? Obviously that doesn't include a lot of people outside of the Black community when it comes to the message, right? But that doesn't mean that we're not in the seats being like, this is a fantastic production.
Yeah, totally.
And clearly I'm learning a lot from it, you know?
Yeah. There's almost an argument to be made of like, it's almost more important for people who aren't part of that community to watch those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say like there's a lot of nods to it in the show where like if you are South Asian, a lot of the jokes are going to be like, oh my God, like this is for me and I get to laugh along with it. But some jokes are just going to go over white people's heads and that's just what it's going to be. And we're fine with that, you know?
And your show is like a compilation of sketches with like a through line.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where it kind of becomes different genres. So it is your sketch show where we have about 10 different sketches that you'll see, and you know those are in the art of typical sketch comedy, different locations, different times, shenanigans, you'll see a game inside of it or whatever. The main difference though, is that they will tie together to tell one chronological story, which essentially is how Lily and I met.
Cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So this is just also for just generally very personal to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's semi-autobiographical, you know. Most of what we have written has really been drawn from real experiences. And the story itself, like, we decided to write it because when we became friends, everybody kept asking, like, how did you guys meet? And again, I don't want to reveal that because that really is the plot of the show.
Yeah.
But every time we would say our story, everyone was like, oh, that's a crazy like situation of how you guys came together. And we had kind of just become writing partners for like one thing. Quickly, just for like a variety show, we had written a sketch.
You've done variety shows at UCB.
Yeah, UCB, and just kind of like around the general circuit. We did a show called South Asian AF inside of like Asian AF. Like they have tons of shows that they put on. And so at first we started with just one sketch. Lily had gotten like asked to be in this variety show. And so she was like, oh, hey, like Arasha, would you want to write a sketch with me? Like we've never worked together. Like let's just do something quick for this. And so we had met up. We started writing this sketch. And as we were writing, we were like, wait, like this is a whole universe, actually. What we have written is much more. And what we wrote that day was actually the last sketch of our current show. So we backtrack and wrote everything else over the last about year and a half. And have, again, incorporated video content and interstitials and different sort of aspects inside of the show to make it something unique. And that's what we will be performing at the end of the month. So cool. Yeah, it's a lot. And you know, the interesting part too is that I feel like there is this confusion of like, you know, we have been testing our sketches here and there at different shows, but this is the show that is all of it, front to back, like the one time we're putting it up.
So some of these sketches you've never done live before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really, because the thing is, when you do a sketch, you perform it, you're like, whoa, learned a lot. We're like, this could be cut or this could be longer or, oh shit, that went great. Like always the one that you're like, I don't know about this one.
Totally.
Always like ends up going really well.
Oh yeah.
So do you think after you do this show, do you think if it goes well, you'll do it again?
So we have a lot of different paths that we want to go down with it. I mean, we have talked about like touring the show.
Oh, cool.
And because we have an awesome roster of guest stars that
nice.
You know, we haven't like officially revealed, I guess, but it's like it's all over our Instagram and TikTok. If you kind of like check it out there, you'll see who we're kind of alluding to. But like the goal is like we could either take them with us or like wherever we go, we kind of bring on different actors to take on these roles, which would be awesome. What we though have largely discussed is that we actually want to pitch this show as a streaming series.
Cool.
Yeah, we've simultaneously written a pilot for it.
Cool.
And most of the like digital content that we've produced, which has mostly been in service to promote the show, a lot of people have reached out and have been like, this is giving sitcom. This is giving like, obviously because it parodies How I Met Your Mother. I'm sure that also lends to it. Which funny enough, actually, I don't know if you guys have are you guys fans of How I Met Your Mother?
I watched the first few seasons.
I have never seen an episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Garde has seen a lot of it. I think it was one of his shows that he really like learned English on.
Oh,
Funny.
Yeah, he like watched a ton of sitcoms to do that.
Love that.
Makes sense.
So I haven't watched a lot of. I've seen so many clips of it though. Like I know the premise,
Oh,
I know the
yeah.
deal, but I've seen so many clips of it. And I mean, spoiler, you know who the mother is at the end.
Yeah.
Of it?
Yeah, you find out. You find out.
People
Don't say anything in
hate.
case people haven't seen it.
That's one of the most
It's been out.
hated endings to a show.
Yeah.
Really?
It's-
Unfortunately.
people hate the ending to How I
Why?
Met Your Mother. They just didn't think it was like a satisfying ending. I'm pretty sure. But you know, with sitcoms, that's not
So
the only,
hard.
because Seinfeld people say is like the worst ending to a sitcom ever too.
Oh.
Sitcoms aren't really shows that I care how they end.
I
I'm like,
kind of
you kind
agree.
of watch sitcoms because they are an encapsulated like perfect 30 minutes.
It's not like The Sopranos where it ended and you were like, okay.
Whoa. Spoilers.
I didn't say anything. Trust me, I didn't say anything.
Anyways.
Yes.
As you were saying.
As I was saying, yes. So I obviously we enjoyed the show, and we sort of, borrow aspects of it, or more like we're inspired by it. Like the whole flashback format
Sure.
is what's super interesting to us, and that's what these sketches kind of serve as well. But it's funny, the timing of it, because the creator of How I Met Your Mother and the actor that plays the lead, Ted Mosby, Josh Radnor, both of them actually just started a podcast called How We Made Your Mother.
Wow.
And it's a rewatch podcast. And we actually reached out to them and we were like, hey, like we're actually putting on a show that's inspired by the series. And they are excited and are coming to our show.
Whoa!
Yeah. Josh, I think, is in New York, but the producer of the show was like, save me a ticket. Like, I'll be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hello?
So super excited about that. I
That's
think that's
really, really
cool.
cool.
Just have one reserved seat in the front.
Yeah.
You guys are all watching
and just
and
put
waiting.
Ted Mosby so everyone freaks out.
That's so funny.
Did Ted Mosby help write How I Met Your Mother? Did he help create it? I know he's the lead,
Yeah.
so over time,
maybe
he probably,
over time.
Eventually,
He
he
A
was
lot of
probably
times you
involved in
start
the
racking up
creative.
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by you because I know so many people like you out here who just are constantly making stuff.
Yep.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
impressed by it because I have never been that way. I like, it takes so much for me to like get going and make things because I'm so like scared, I guess, my anxiety. But I know so many people like you and you always find success because you're just always doing stuff.
That's
Putting
very
stuff
kind.
out there.
You know.
I appreciate that, you guys. Like, I mean, I feel like, truthfully, like I feel inspired at Smosh. Like I genuinely feel like, especially being like a little bit younger than everybody else, I feel like this need to keep up sometimes, and sometimes I forget that it's like, obviously we're all on our own journey and stuff,
Yeah.
but I kind of lead, I think, with this aspect of, you can't really wait for opportunities to come your way.
You can't.
Especially not nowadays.
No, I mean, the industry is incredibly competitive, and with TikTok these days, everybody's a star.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's going viral. Everybody's got followers. Like, it really is incredibly difficult to stand out. Like, that's why we have these hot takes so that we can be these different
Right.
people, and that's something that Lily and I really lead with is every time we're doing like a trend or every time we're writing a sketch, like we always come back to, okay, what is our lens? Like what do we specifically have that nobody else can look at?
Right.
And usually it's, okay, we're two Indian women. How do we face the world like this?
Yeah.
And again, it's that balance of like, we want to be relatable, and a huge part of the show in general is to show that Indian women are just like regular women, which I've talked about on this
No.
podcast. Yes, it's crazy.
I've never heard that in my life.
Right. Like I'm just, it's such a tired stereotype of
It is-
Indian
it
women
is.
being like boring or like, I don't know, like misfits or whatever. It's just like, I just feel like that's so not the case.
So boring.
It's so boring.
It
I'm
reminds me
done seeing that.
of that time you talked about on this podcast of like, I want to play like the mean girl.
Yes.
And I was like, that's, yeah.
More bitchy Indian women. More
I would love
assholes.
to see it. I would love to see it.
Because it like that to me feels like the right representation.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I don't want to see the same like high schooler who's like she just immigrated and she's such a loser. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
she's not. Like
It's
that's
so
not what's
boring.
happening.
You want to see multifaceted, like real characters.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because
then
you're real people with you go through arcs, you go through journeys, you change. Like you're not just one thing.
With the aspects of imperfection there too and stuff like
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is also shocking, especially to the generation above us, right? Like, so my parents are coming to the show.
Oh, how do you feel about that?
Oh,
I think I feel excited about it.
Are there details in this show about yourself that your parents don't know about?
I don't think so.
Like, are they gonna learn more about you that they don't know already?
you
do
feel
think?
like a pretty open book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
I don't know.
I've put a lot of myself out there on
Sure.
Smosh, I think. So I'm kind of like, if they don't know
Do your
me
parents
already.
watch?
Yeah, do they watch
content?
Smosh?
Not really.
I don't know if any of our parents. I think some
My
parents.
mom watches some.
My mom watches some.
She watched. My mom, I think, oddly, the Shayne guesses stuff. She always watches.
That's sweet. That's really
yeah,
sweet.
She watches. There's too much stuff to keep up with, but
Totally.
she'll watch things.
I think
here
my
and
mom's
there.
always like, "Where do I find it again?"
Funny.
I'm like,
right.
I'm glad most of my family doesn't though.
I don't need them
I'm
to.
like, you don't need to.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I think my parents don't quite get the grasp of it as well. Like, because my parents, they immigrated when my brother and I were babies, and they were about 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about that, like,
Whoa.
I'm not even that age yet.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, imagine living like this whole life and then completely just like starting over in a whole new place. Like, there are some things that you can, adapt to and begin to understand. But I also believe that like some systems aren't really gonna compute.
Yeah, like tiny laser heist. How are you going to explain that?
No, my dad's gonna be like, what the are you doing? Pick up the diamond.
Just grab it with your hands.
No,
Right.
I get it. I mean, YouTube in general, like sometimes doesn't make sense for them unless they're watching how to build like IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
But I like, which my dad loves.
Oh.
Also, my dad loves YouTube though. Loves. He's
My-
like, I
my
found
dad
this
can like
really
it, yeah.
funny guy. I'm like, Dad.
Well, your dad's
Yeah.
like super tech genius.
He's super
which is
online.
hilarious.
Super online. He used to read Microsoft Word books. I mean, he's a computer engineer. He's super online.
You being the most offline person, but your dad.
He's like, you need to get a new iPhone now.
Oh.
I'm like, why? It's fine. He's like, it sucks at taking photos. I'm like, you're right, Dad.
so funny.
No,
Wow.
yeah, he's very, very techie. So he watches a ton of YouTube. He'll find things that I do that I don't even send him. And then if he sees friends of mine and then like maybe sees them in a weird movie, he's like, I saw your friend, Steph Barkley.
Yeah.
She was in this fun horror movie. The movie was weird, but she was so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you are online.
That's incredible.
I was like, Dad, have you seen this Netflix show? He's like, I don't know. We finished Netflix. Like Netflix
We
is
We're
finished.
finished.
We finished it. We watched everything.
We're
Oh,
done
he's
with
done
it.
with Netflix.
Wow.
Every show is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's now on BritBox and everything else.
BritBox.
What
Yeah.
is BritBox?
Is that a British TV show?
It's a subscription for
Whoa,
all
that
British
actually
TV
sounds.
shows.
That actually sounds
I
awesome.
actually might get it.
That because it's like you watch
British investigative
What's
shows.
the
Get the
what's the
family
variety
plan.
show that's incredible? Taskmaster.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Taskmaster is like one of the best shows ever made.
I don't know. It's probably on there, but BritBox is supposed to be amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, enough about.
Enough
mean,
about BritBox.
Well, it's funny. My dad actually is like he's very much into like the classics. Like, and
he's watching Turner Classic Movies.
He's like, hey, Arasha, come sit with me and watch Taken.
yeah.
My dad also loves
I
Taken.
like. I like. You said classics and you followed it up with Taken.
You are so young. I was like,
These old movies like
I was
Taken.
like Cary Grant vibes.
I mean, that's just a real
Taken,
story.
Taken is the ultimate dad movie, though.
Right.
It is.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
my daughter was kidnapped, and I her father can travel around the world and find her
and kill them.
kill everyone in my way
Yeah.
is the most dad movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I would say classic is very funny.
Classic.
I mean,
Taken.
that's just drawing from a real story, but like that's like every
But I
time.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That's his genre,
That's
so he
really
will
funny.
never,
Of course,
you know.
Liam Neeson.
Dad
Right.
stuff.
Dad,
Dad
Has
Liam
your dad
Neeson.
watched the most dad show in existence is Reacher?
No.
Your dad would love it. It's
Okay.
just big buff guy who just can beat up anyone.
So
so
another
big.
piece of my dad's
It's
lore.
like ridiculous.
He's very big.
It's really funny. Just every situation, just like, well, he's gonna punch his way to victory.
Of course he is.
Honestly, he would like that then.
It's very funny.
It's based off the Jack Reacher series,
It's
right?
like,
the book series.
Yeah, it's just this guy who's like, he's former CIA. We don't know what he was doing for the government. And now he's just kind of a drifter. But anytime he sees anything going wrong, he just can punch anyone and win
So
because
Liam
he's so
Neeson
big.
vibes.
It's very Liam
different
Neeson
than
vibe.
Liam Neeson.
Oh,
This guy's
but
just so
vibes.
buff.
He's so big.
Oh, okay.
He just-
Liam's kind of big.
This guy is.
He's big. I love
It's
Liam.
basically like
I love
in
big.
this show, this man is the largest man who exists.
Yes.
And so nobody can stop him.
So I have to
But
watch
then
this
apparently
show.
season 3, there's a guy who's bigger than him, and that's the villain.
Who?
Some guy they found who's actually bigger than him.
My
It's
mom's-
very
my mom's
funny, but
boyfriend
dads
loves Reacher.
love
Wow.
Yeah.
this show.
So a piece of my dad's lore as well is that the only TV show that he will watch is the old Star Trek.
That's a very dad move.
Like, I'm not kidding, every night reruns.
That is so
Those-
that's a classic.
That stuff is very funny though.
Yeah, he loves that.
Actually, that show is better. Like when you watch it, it's shockingly really well done.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like,
it's
it holds
his whole
up,
life. He
holds
admires
up
it.
really well.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
as like, it is cheesy, but it's also like kind of more downplayed at times than you expect.
Yeah.
Like very subtle scenes and
So they're going to come to a new age style How I Met Your Masi, Dynasty Typewriter.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a great time.
I hope so. I hope that they like understand the storyline, and you know are able to like follow through and see what I'm doing. And maybe that's me giving them like not enough credit. You know, they're obviously like fluent in English.
They're
Like
gonna
they're able
enjoy
to
watching
do that.
you on stage.
Yeah, I
too.
think so. I think that's the main thing. Like
Yeah.
my mom is so curious about it. She keeps being like, "What do you mean it's a show?" And I'm like,
what is a show?
Right. Like she's like, "So you're going to be like on a stage?" And I'm like, "Correct."
Yes.
And she's like, "And you're going to be like talking to the audience?" And I'm like, "Well, in a way."
Kinda.
You know? So I think
I like
she's
the concept that your mom has never seen live theater before.
Yeah, so she saw Aladdin with my brother in New York, and she loved it.
So she
Oh,
saw it
yeah.
on Broadway.
She was like, I loved that. She was like, so great, so amazing. And I'm like, okay, so we're not doing Aladdin.
No.
So it's a little different than that.
It's a little lower budget than Aladdin.
Aladdin's
on Broadway.
full on musical.
Yes, but I hope that they are just kind of able to see and get excited about what it is that I'm bringing to my career and my life now. I think I've talked about this with you guys too. Like growing up, obviously they weren't really. I think as comfortable with me really wanting to do acting as a career.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Makes sense.
yeah, it's like it wasn't really. It's not that they were not. It's not that they were discouraging me. They just weren't encouraging me.
I honestly understand for anyone whose parents like went through the hardship of like coming into this country, like to go through so much to be like, we're bringing you here, like we're
And they're
doing
like,
so much for you,
and
then
you
it's
want
like,
to do
I think I want to
comedy?
do sketch comedy.
They're like, no.
And they're
God
like, we're
damn
going back home.
All of our hopes and dreams.
I want to do improv.
Right.
Like,
And then here's my brother being like, I'm going to pursue tech. And they're like, yes. Yes.
that's what we're talking
We
about.
love you.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
No,
So
but
one of
and
us is a
obviously
failure.
you've killed it. Like you have
thank you.
done so well in this. So.
I mean, it's again, that's another thing too, is that I don't quite know that my parents also grasp the like the spread that Smosh has as
Sure.
well. So I think they're just kind of like, I think they understand fame mostly in like the TV and movie world.
Sure.
And so I think they're more just
course.
like, oh,
That makes
Arasha's
sense.
starting out on YouTube.
We're also at a turning of industries, right? Like
Yeah.
YouTube didn't exist. It only has existed for 20 years.
Right.
But it's only been like the powerhouse it's been for probably like a little over 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like it varies, but like we're in a shifting. This is
Yeah.
no different than truly like 100 years ago when like the emergence of sound in movies, like that was a huge shift.
Yeah.
Like it sounds silly to compare it, but I think it's a fair comparison. I'm not saying if it's bigger or not, but like these shifts in industry are confusing for people because it's like, wait, hold on.
Even
this
now,
is big now?
Even now, like YouTube is becoming way more different too. It's like streaming and YouTube, everything is changing. So I totally get why your parents are like, even my parents, even my sisters are like, wait, what? I think they understand it now, but they're like,
different.
huh?
Yeah, I mean, not to make it incredibly deep, but I'm wondering if you guys face this same thing too, of like, you know, because that is the case, and you know, in one way, objectively, we have reached success. You know, all of us here and everything that we're doing, and it is very cool. But for me personally, I am constantly feeling this need to, you know, prove that to my family and being like look how cool this is, like don't you guys see this? And you know, maybe it is a little bit of that like that immigrant guilt of like like look what I've done, like I promise I am doing something, and I want you guys to see that sense. And I hope that some of that is, you know, resolved when they come and see my show, not for like the celebrities that'll be on stage and not for the, you know, the sound of applause or laughter in the show, but just so that they can see it and maybe get some sort of semblance of like, okay, she is in LA and she's okay and she's on stage right now and doing something, and that's enough.
You're able to pay your rent in LA and you're working.
Yeah.
That's success.
You're successful.
Because when I was like 18 and I'm not working at all, like still my parents were having to help me out, I was like, okay, if in 10 years, if I can pay rent and be performing full time, I've made it.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And so if you're, no matter what the performing is,
right,
if you're doing that, you're successful, because that is so hard to do. And I have so many friends of mine who are not able to do that. Like the majority are not able to do that.
Totally.
It's such a like,
lots of people have moved back.
You have to get lucky. Like you do. So it's like I don't scoff at any form of performing, because I'm like, dude, if you get to perform, you get to, like, that's such a privilege.
But we get it. Here's the thing. We're out here. We get it. So I totally understand like wanting to show your parents.
Yeah.
And I think them coming to Dynasty, which I think is one of my favorite theaters in LA.
Totally.
Is you showing like a body of work that you've been working on for almost 2 years. And it's like, regardless, they're going to be super proud.
Yeah, I hope so.
I also think it's really cool. This sounds like this is very much a passion project. And obviously there's a lot of smart business aspects to it. But I do think the industry and online has gotten so like industry forward of like, okay, is this show you're doing, is it smart? Like, is it getting wide reach? Is it doing all these right things? But I think it's so important to like perform and create shows that it's like, I am doing this because I love it. Yeah. Because that's why we do this. Like if you're doing it all for the monetary or for like, how does this further my career? It's like, dude, I should have gone into any other career than performing.
You're so right.
But it's like, we do it because we love it.
Yeah.
And so like,
but that feeling doesn't really go away.
Yeah.
You know, I've been out here a long time and it still doesn't go away. Like my mom's still like, so when are you moving home? Because it's way easier here. How much do you love your job? I'm like, Mom, it's not just a job. It's a whole career. So it's like, it doesn't really go away. So you have to kind of make peace with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but it'll happen over time. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
To me, you're like starting.
Yeah.
I know you went to school for it, but like you're starting.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you know, in a way too, like in college, I feel like I wasn't even going for it yet, right? Because I made up my own major. I've told you that, right?
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, I was kind of like also stumbling through, being like, what am I going to do?
Right.
And for Smosh to be like the first thing that I've really gotten to do out in LA, I feel incredibly lucky. I think Tommy was like the first person actually that like, I remember we were in like our first like welcome talent forum. I remember I like was talking to Tommy and I was like, yeah, I just moved here like 5 months ago. And he was like, well, you're here, so you're good. And I was like, okay, like I'm excited. I'm looking forward to like where this is going to take me. And Smosh is truly continued to be such a staple of like gratitude for me because it's the reason that I'm able to put on this show. I'm able to have Smosh and be pursuing things over here and stretching my improv and sketch skills and overall comedy. And at the same time, I'm able to put on my own show and do that simultaneously, which is not what a lot of people can do. So I continue to just count my blessings and be like, I'm so psyched that I'm able to do that. And it's been like a different full-time job, because we're producing. We have a director, but we're writing, we're starring in it. Like, it's like we've done so much work towards it. And especially now it being like, I don't know when this is going to come out, but from today, it's like 29 days away. And having worked on it for a year and a half, I'm just kind of like, whew, like, big exhale moment.
I'm sure.
When the day of the show, try to do something that is not the show related.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned because...
Take a shit.
Yeah, take a shit, definitely.
Okay.
But like go and do something that's not your show related and then come together
Petty
like
crime.
an hour before. Yeah,
Go
petty crime.
shoplift.
And
Shoplifting.
take your mind off of it. Get arrested. You know what I'm saying?
That would be awesome.
No, but like do something that takes your mind out. Because if you hunker down all day, and I'm talking specifically about myself.
Yeah.
Because like when I would do a one-woman show, I remember my friend visited me on my first one-woman show that I've ever done. And she was like, we're going to go look at flowers. And I was like, no, we can't. I have to sit here and think about my fully improvised show.
Right.
That is made up on the spot. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, we're going to go.
Shake it off a little.
And it was hard, but I'm very glad I did it because the work is done.
I mean, I'm sure. Have you guys also felt that way with Smosh Mouth sometimes in terms of like, we've learned with our writing that sometimes stepping away and then coming back to it days later, like you'll write something and you'll be like, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
But then you'll walk away and a couple days later you'll come back and you're like, wait, this is really funny.
I would say I am a believer in the like you grind, you prep as much as you can, and then like the lead, like that day of the more you can let it go and give that space and trust the work you put in.
Yeah.
And
then you can be really present in it.
You do want something organic in a performance,
right?
You know,
you don't want it over rehearsed. I mean, I get it; it's a sketch show.
It's hard.
Every beat is rehearsed.
Yeah.
But like when we would do Sunday, we would make a new sketch show every Sunday, but like a couple sketches that were like yay would last like 4 weeks. And I'm telling you, the third week it was the best version of the sketch you've ever seen.
Wow.
But
because it was like you've done it and you let it go. So it's hard to do.
There's not really much I think you can compare it to when it comes to Smosh, but there are so many episodes of stuff we film here where it feels like in the moment you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And you leave and you're like, what was that? And then it's like a hit. And people are like, that's one of the funniest episodes they have of anything. It's like, I guess we were in the zone, but we didn't know it.
Or they save it in the edit.
Honestly, it was like when Tommy and I first did freaking The Hunger Games with Court and Keith, and we did it, and they were like, we don't know what this is, but will you guys try it? But the first time we did it, we just had fun, and they were like, whoa, okay, and it actually did well, and the whole time we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then
great.
it was so fun to do.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
That's also another thing is like when you don't have a big plan.
Yeah, or the pressure, right, that you put on it of like it's kind of like in improv. If you go up there and you're like, I have to be funny, you're gonna flop.
It's gonna be very bad.
But if you just go
gotta
up
get
there
into
and you're
it.
like, all right, we're doing it.
Honey, you need
Look what you did.
That was on cue.
So
Sorry, guys.
Damn.
Sorry,
you're not
it's
gonna
so
mess
good.
up. You're not gonna mess up your show because you've already messed up here. In our last 5 to 10 minutes that we have here, you've been talking so much. You've been working on the show with a good friend of yours, so a duo.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it, and I feel like the bread and butter of Smosh is
duos.
Like, I think that's
Yes.
what people like about Smosh is watching people's interactions and how different types of comedy and stuff comes from different like groupings of people.
Yeah.
And I guess I had a few questions, but one, like, what do you think are some of the like ultimate duos of Smosh, and also your duos?
Good
within
question.
Smosh?
Wow.
Because like, it may not be the fan favorites, but who you think like, oh man, when I'm working with this person,
Yeah.
we're killing it.
I mean, I feel like the first person that comes to mind with me is like Courtney. I feel like I am like almost like in a weird like giddy place with Courtney whenever we're on camera.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm your third. So
did you know that?
Did you guys know?
I just learned that.
It's not the cats, honey. It's Arasha sneaking into your house.
It's me. In the middle of the night. Because when I think of duos, I definitely just feel like who I feel comfortable with next to, and I don't really feel like the need to plan. I also don't feel like judged, Not that I feel that way with anybody, but I just feel like when I sit next to Courtney, I feel like I'll say stuff and Courtney will catch it when other people will be like in the mess of things, and Courtney will turn to me and be like, what the hell did you just say?
She catches all.
She catches it all.
She absolutely does.
Yeah.
Her peripheral is like on spot. Like literally, if you're doing something here, it's like as if she's looking at you.
Yeah. And she goes, and she does it quickly too. She's like, "Ah."
Yeah, she'll go.
That's a good impression.
Yeah.
Literally.
What did you just say? And I'm like, nothing.
I feel like
that's a good duo.
Yeah.
I feel like an underrated one, because I feel like I have that dynamic a lot with Keith, where I think a lot of stuff doesn't make it to the edit of just like we are making each other laugh like quietly.
Keith is so funny.
Keith and I like love observing, and we find like so much in life funny. Like that's our initial reaction to things.
Yeah.
Is, like even if we're uncomfortable or something, but if something awkward happens, like we're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
I
love that. My goal in life with Keith is to make him laugh whenever I can. And he's always like, what are you doing?
No, Keith cracks me up. Like some of my favorite
funny.
games videos are like Keith in the corner just being like he's got his own bits churning
so-
out. I'm
he's
like,
so
this
genuine.
is hilarious. Yeah.
Amanda, I feel like one of the ultimate duos right now is you and Angela.
Yeah.
I feel like that is very
yeah.
much a popular duo, but I also do agree. I
100%.
think there's not a duo that isn't a hit. There's some that I guess we don't see it as much.
We don't see it as
by
much.
sheer luck of like the seating arrangements sometimes
Totally.
or the casting.
Totally.
But they're all great. But
Yeah.
some are just seen more than others.
I think what I really like about you and Angela as a duo too is I feel like you guys just understand each other really well. So like one of you guys just like will toss out a roast and the other one will just like know what it is. You won't be confused or be like, whoa, were you saying that to hurt me? Like you guys are just so
go
on the
for
same
it.
vibe that you're comfortable just being like, you.
We never really have to be like, hey, I hope I didn't hurt you. Ever.
Yeah.
You guys
it's
have
very,
that.
to me, it's very sibling energy and also very like, we come from different training, but we come from a lot of like improv training in a way where she recognizes like me heightening or recognizes me. I think she knows when I'm actually upset, and it's very rare. And it's like, we have that trust, essentially.
I think so.
You both very much are similar in the improv training of speak first, think second. Yeah. Like truly, because you're like the amount of times, like I feel like both of your bits often are like you say something wild, then you go, what?
What?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's the thing. So when you're paired up together, it's very fun.
It's like, what? And then it's like, we need to stop.
Totally. But I think you're really accurate here where like you really can put a lot of duos together and it works really well. What's so interesting is like Smosh was kind of built on a duo. I mean,
it
right?
is.
Ian
and Anthony.
Yeah.
That
Great
kind
duo
of
right
like
there.
the two and like what you kind of bring to the table. But I'm interested, like, do you guys think it's better when a duo is like so similar or is it when they're like different and they complement each other?
I like
Arasha.
seeing different versions. I think I end up in duos a lot where I actually don't think I'm funny, but I am the audience member to them saying crazy shit. I think that was Damien and I a lot. That is Damien and I a lot. Is Damien says just the wildest stuff and I'm laughing at it. And so the audience laughs with me. And I think that's kind of same with Spencer and I.
Yes.
Like Spencer says wild shit and I'm there laughing at it. Like that is kind of the dynamic.
It's the straight man and the wild one is some of my favorite characters. But then the two who are the wild ones, like a Chance and Angela together.
It's insane.
But here's the thing. Sometimes it's a specific game or a mood. Well, one will take the straight person, which is like Chance will go like, and not straight
Go
chance.
voice of reason.
But we'll go voice of reason, and that's where the jokes land.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's just two people being giddy who love hanging out with each other.
It's very funny because when Chance is here on Smosh Mouth with us two, he's the wild one.
He's the wild
Yeah,
one.
But then
yeah.
next to Angela, he's suddenly the Angela.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's very funny, and I think it shows how conscious we all are as performers, that you'll see us shift how we
Depending
perform.
on the person.
And I think people underestimate how much sometimes those are conscious efforts of like, okay, I know what's going to make this video funnier is if I'm not the one saying the jokes.
So true.
True. To me, it is. Not all of it's thought out. A lot of it's like natural, but like sometimes it is. You're like, okay, I know that this energy's this, so I'm taking on this energy.
Yeah.
And it's also fun for the performer to play multiple different energies.
Yes. I feel like I feel that in a group dynamic a lot too. Like when I come on to for Smosh games, I feel like if it is like Chance, Angela, maybe Trevor, then I'm kind of like, okay, there's definitely a lot of weirdness. I know where I fit in, and it's being the more calm or the straight man or the audience.
Sure.
But then I feel like I walk on with you guys and Tommy and Court, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to bring chaos to this group.
Yeah.
Exactly. You kind of you get permission to like slip into different versions of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the duo
You know where
aspect
you
of it.
stand.
You're very good at, and it's an underrated skill, but of being kind of the glue in videos. Because when we've done the Who Smoshes It Anyway, like you do such a good job as the host. And that's a very specific skill because I think you are very aware of what's going on. You don't get to be saying jokes, but you are so aware of what's funny that's going on that you're kind of timing it out. And you do such a good job of it because we did Who Smoshes It Anyway with you as the host. And then I remember we did one without you as the host. And I remember being like, I struggled a lot more. And I was like, I think you being there really helped.
Thank you.
Like navigate it.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. That even reminded me too of like, another really strong host, Tommy.
Yes.
I feel like that's why Tommy and I are such a great duo as well.
You guys are a great duo.
Because both of us have that kind of like host energy, but it's that same thing too, where it's like nothing is really gonna like offend each other. We know when we're doing a bit because it's like there's a joke already that like Tommy and Arasha hate each other.
Is there?
Like yeah,
Which is
there's
so
like
weird because you guys are actually friends in real life.
It always makes me laugh.
Exactly.
Whenever there's rumors of people hating each other, it's always funny.
It's
I'm like,
so
dude.
no, and we claimed it as a bit too. Now Tommy all the
Yeah.
time is like, yeah, because I hate Arasha, and it's
Yeah.
like we're actually friends.
Yeah.
Actually friends.
Actually friends.
That reminds me of when, like, because I love when it with Angela around, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk trash.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that, like, she is down for that and it's super funny to her.
Yes.
But people are like, wow, Shayne's bullying Angela. I was like, you have no idea how funny
You have
we
no
both
idea how
think
much
this
Angela's
is.
Yes,
bullying
yes.
Shayne.
I think we've all built like a good circle of trust with each other in
absolutely.
that like, very rarely is it that, we say something that is supposed to be something deeper. It is just kind of like a silly, like
We're just
we're just
having
roasting
fun.
for fun.
We are, we're all very in tune. And I think if people haven't seen it, the Try Not to Laugh Mimes episode was proof of that. Because
Literal
we did
trust.
not talk. We did not talk. We weren't talking behind the
And
kids.
we didn't set up more than half those bits.
But we were just going
But we were
into
just
it.
and we were cracking each other
We're just
up.
having fun.
Yeah.
We're just in it.
That
It
was
It's just
great.
fun,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And those are the best videos when like when we cut and it's not that was so good. It's just that was so fun.
Yeah.
Like that
I
was
loved
just fun.
That video. It's like therapy.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Like a silent what are those called when people like go away?
Silent
they take
retreats.
Silent retreat.
Yeah, silent retreat.
Don't know
or
if I could do
a
it.
silent oath.
An
Yeah.
oath of a vow of silence.
A vow of silence.
Like a monk.
Don't know if I could do it.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
Or darkness
I
retreat
just
where
think-
they take off their mask and they're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Live stream idea.
Whoa.
We're just silent the whole time.
Oh, we've done it.
Oh?
We did a TikTok live where I was like, let me just sit facing a wall silent for an hour. And I did it, and then people
were
started
asleep.
People started to come in. I was not asleep. People started coming in and messing with me, and I was like, "All right, this is funny." But I was like, the idea was like, how many people are going to watch me sit here?
And what'd we
completely
get?
Quiet. I don't know. I
5
think it did
people.
okay.
Just kidding.
Well, anyways,
Courtney.
Your show is May 30th, How I Met Your Masi at Dynasty Typewriter. We will put a link or you can follow. Where should we follow you to get tickets?
The tickets should be on dynasty.tv, so you can go there, or you can check us out on Instagram and TikTok at How I Met Your Masi. We also have a YouTube channel, but it low-key has like 30 subscribers because we haven't posted anything. So yeah, check it out.
Woo! Hell yeah!
Very excited for this, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. Thanks for giving me the chance. I just rubbed my chin on this mic, so we better
And
clean that up.
thanks for spilling mostly milk.
That didn't happen.
There was like how much coffee was even in that?
Okay, you.
It was like this coffee. The rest was milk. And thanks so much, Arasha.
Thank you, Arasha, for being here.
Normalize drinking milk.
That's right. You drink milk. We didn't get into that. Okay. Comment about that down below. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.